Do you know there's one command that can unlock unlimited wealth in your life? Not 10 affirmations, not 100 visualizations, just one powerful command that, when spoken with conviction, rearranges the universe to obey you. I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me, because if you've been praying, manifesting, affirming, and nothing seems to move, this might be the missing piece. Let me start with this. Money doesn't respond to begging. It doesn't respond to worry, fear, or anxiety. It doesn't even respond to hard work alone. It responds to command. And when I say command, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about divine authority, the kind of authority you were born with but forgot how to use. Now, I know you've probably said to yourself, I'm doing everything right. I'm working, I'm trying, I'm visualizing abundance, but my account balance looks allergic to money. And I get it. I really do. I know that feeling of checking your balance and thinking, maybe my bank app is broken, or maybe it's just emotionally unavailable. We laugh about it, but there's a deep frustration underneath, isn't there? Because here's the truth. You weren't designed to chase money. You were designed to attract it, to speak it into your life. The problem is, most people don't realize that their words are the steering wheel of their reality. Every I'm broke, every I can't afford this, every I never have enough. Those are commands too, negative ones. And the universe is just doing its job, faithfully obeying your orders. So what's the one command that unlocks unlimited wealth? It's this: I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, that sounds nice, but it doesn't pay my bills, let's break this down logically. You see, when you speak a command with belief, you send a signal to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious is the real manager of your reality. It takes your words as law. It doesn't argue. It doesn't analyze. It just executes. So when you keep repeating, I am rich in substance, you're not just saying pretty words. You're installing a new operating system inside your mind. And that's where everything begins. Because if your subconscious doesn't believe you're worthy of wealth, it will secretly sabotage every opportunity that could make you rich. It'll make you forget to reply to that email that could change your life. It'll convince you that investing is risky. It'll whisper, people like you don't get rich. And you'll believe it, unless you reprogram it. Let me show you how this works. Imagine your subconscious mind like a garden. Every word you speak is a seed. Some seeds grow fast like weeds of worry. Others need care like seeds of faith. But the soil doesn't care what you plant. It just grows whatever you put in it. So, if you keep saying money doesn't come easily, guess what's going to sprout? Financial struggle. But if you say, I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it, you've planted a seed of abundance. And that seed will grow if you water it daily with belief. Now, let's be honest. Some people hear affirmations like this and think it's nonsense. They say, I can't just say I'm rich and expect money to fall from the sky. But let me ask you this, how do you think all things begin? Everything physical starts as a thought. Every house was once an idea in someone's mind. Every business, every invention, every success story began as an inner vision. The spoken word gives life to that vision. When you command wealth, you're setting the creative process in motion. And yes, I can already hear your logical brain asking, but what if I don't feel rich? That's okay. You don't have to feel it right away. You just have to command it consistently enough until your feelings catch up. Feelings are followers, not leaders. You speak first, feel later. That's the law. Let's do something fun. I want you to imagine you're the CEO of your life and the universe is your staff. Now, would a confident CEO walk into their office saying, excuse me, universe, could I maybe, possibly, have some money if it's not too much trouble? Of course not. A confident CEO walks in with authority and says, here's what I've decided, here's what needs to happen. That's how you should speak to the universe. Firm, clear, expectant. But here's where most people trip up. They mix their commands with complaints. They say, I am abundant, and 5 minutes later, ugh, I'm so tired of being broke. That's like sending two completely opposite emails to the universe. One says, deliver abundance, and the other says, cancel that order. The universe just shrugs and says, well, make up your mind. So let me give you 3 simple steps to use this one command effectively. Step 1, speak it daily. The same way you brush your teeth, make it a habit. In the morning, before you check your phone, stand up, take a deep breath, and say out loud, I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Don't whisper it timidly, say it with energy, with life. You're not begging, you're declaring. Step 2, act as if it's already true. This doesn't mean you go out and buy a Lamborghini on credit. No, no, no. Acting rich in spirit means walking like someone who expects good things to happen. It means you stop talking about lack. It means you stop saying, I can't afford that, and instead say, that's not a priority right now. Same situation, different vibration. Step 3, give thanks before you see results. This is crucial. Gratitude is the fertilizer that helps your words grow. When you thank the universe in advance, you're signaling faith. You're saying, I know it's already on its way. And faith is the currency of creation. Now, I want to be honest with you. The first few days you start doing this, your mind will argue with you. It'll say, this is silly. Nothing's changing. Ignore it. That's just your old programming fighting for survival. Keep commanding. Keep believing. Keep thanking. Because wealth begins as a vibration before it becomes visible. And don't be surprised if opportunities start showing up in unexpected ways. You might get a random call, a new client, a sudden idea, or even find money you didn't know you had. That's not coincidence, that's the universe responding to your command. Let me tell you a little story. There was once a woman who was always worried about money. She'd say things like, money goes out faster than it comes in. One day, she decided to change her words. She started declaring, money flows to me in perfect ways. Every time she paid a bill, instead of sighing, she'd say, thank you for the money that flows through me. Within a few weeks, she received a refund she didn't expect, a raise at work, and an opportunity to start a side business. Why? Because she stopped commanding lack and started commanding supply. You see, words are not empty. They are living vibrations. And when you combine words with belief and gratitude, you activate what I like to call divine mathematics, the multiplication of everything you focus on. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself right now. What have I been commanding lately? If your life feels stuck, it's not because the universe forgot you. It's because you've been sending unclear instructions. Maybe you've been saying, I want more money, but also, I'm afraid I'll lose it. That's confusion energy. You must decide what you want and speak it without wobbling. The one command, I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it, works because it's complete. It acknowledges that wealth is already yours in substance, meaning in essence, in energy, in spirit. You're not creating wealth, you're revealing it. You're calling forth what's already been assigned to you. And here's the secret most people miss. Substance always precedes supply. You have to feel rich in substance before you can see riches in form. The invisible always comes before the visible. It's like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You water it, and one day, you see green sprouting. So today, stop saying I'm broke, even as a joke. Words are commands, and the universe doesn't have a sense of humor about what you declare, it just obeys. Instead, start saying, I am rich in substance. Watch how your world rearranges itself to mirror that truth. And please, don't underestimate small beginnings. Maybe your first sign of abundance isn't $1 million. It could be a free cup of coffee, a kind gift, or a lucky break. Celebrate it. Because every time you celebrate, you're saying to the universe, yes, more of this, please. You see, wealth isn't about chasing money. It's about aligning with flow. And the more you stay in gratitude, the faster that flow expands. So command boldly, speak life into your finances. Walk like someone who expects miracles. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to do this. Take a moment, close your eyes, and repeat with me, I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Say it with a smile. Feel it in your chest. Let it sink into your bones. You've just issued a command, and the entire universe is now reconfiguring itself to deliver on it. You might not see it yet, but trust me, it's already on its way. Now, let's take this even deeper. Now that you've issued the command, I am rich in substance, and the universe rushes to fulfill it, you've done something most people never do. You've activated your creative power. But here's where things get really interesting. Because once you speak the command, your next step isn't to sit around refreshing your bank app every hour. It's to hold your vibration steady, to stay in faith when your eyes can't yet see the results. You see, this is where most people lose the miracle. They plant the seed and then dig it up 5 minutes later, saying, "Where's my harvest?" But the law of growth requires patience. You don't tell a farmer, "Hey, your corn hasn't grown yet, better give up." You know it's in process, and your wealth is in process too. It's forming in ways you can't see yet. Opportunities are being aligned, people are being positioned, doors are being unlocked. But you must keep watering your command with belief, gratitude, and expectation. And yes, I know, sometimes it's hard, especially when the bills are staring you in the face, when your car makes that mysterious, expensive-sounding noise, or when your boss acts allergic to giving raises. You start to wonder, am I just fooling myself? But that's exactly when you must double down on your declaration. Because the moment you doubt, you press pause on the manifestation. The universe says, "Oh, they're unsure, let's wait." Faith is the signal that keeps the system running. Now let's talk about something important, your relationship with money itself. If money were a person, how would it feel around you? Would it feel welcomed, appreciated, or would it feel like you're constantly mad at it? Because here's the truth. Money has energy, and it responds to how you treat it. If you're always saying, I never have enough, money hears that as rejection. But if you say, I love money and money loves me, you create magnetic chemistry. So, let's make this practical. Start treating money like a guest of honor in your home. When you pay bills, don't groan, say, "Thank you, money, for flowing through me." When you receive even a small amount, say, "Thank you, universe, for this blessing." When you think about future wealth, don't sigh, smile and say, "More is coming." This is not denial, it's direction. You're directing energy toward abundance instead of lack. You might be thinking, but how do I do that when my situation feels so tight? I understand, but remember, faith isn't pretending the problem doesn't exist, it's deciding that the problem doesn't have the final say. You can acknowledge your current reality without submitting to it. You can say, "Yes, my bank account looks low right now, but that's temporary. My substance is rich, and my supply is on the way." That shift in language alone can change your vibration instantly. Now, here's where the logic meets the magic. Your subconscious mind takes your words as instructions, right? So when you speak abundance, your subconscious starts scanning your environment for ways to make it true. Suddenly, you notice opportunities you missed before. You get creative ideas, random inspiration, and intuitive nudges. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Your inner and outer worlds are syncing up. Let me give you a simple daily framework you can use to keep this command active. I call it the 3 C's of wealth. The first C is command. Start every morning by commanding your wealth. Don't wait until you feel good, command first. Say, "I am rich in substance," and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Say it like you mean it, even if your voice shakes. You're training your mind to obey your higher self. The second C is confidence. You must walk through your day with a confident expectation that good things are happening for you. Confidence doesn't mean pretending, it means trusting. When a doubt crosses your mind, answer it immediately. If your inner voice says, "What if this doesn't work?" respond, "It's already working." Don't argue with your fear, replace it. The third C is circulation. Money loves movement. Stagnant energy repels it. So keep it flowing. Give freely. Tip generously. Share without fear. Because what you give returns multiplied. That's not a cute saying, it's a universal law. If you hoard from fear, you block the flow. But when you give from faith, you activate the current of supply. Try this experiment. Every time you give even something small, say quietly, "As I give, I receive multiplied." Watch how quickly money starts coming back to you from unexpected sources. It's as if the universe says, "Ah, they've joined the flow, let's keep it moving." Now, let's address something else, those inner voices that whisper, "I don't deserve to be rich." That's one of the biggest blocks to wealth. Many people unconsciously believe that money is bad, or that wanting more makes them selfish. But listen carefully. Money is neutral. It's not good or bad. It simply amplifies who you are. If you're kind, generous, and loving, money will expand your kindness, generosity, and love. The universe delights in giving wealth to people who use it wisely. So, if guilt has been whispering in your ear, release it. Say to yourself, "It's safe for me to be rich. I am a good person, and money in my hands blesses the world." That one sentence can rewrite years of limiting beliefs. And let's talk about fear for a moment, the fear of losing money, of failure, of not having enough. Fear is faith in the wrong direction. It's belief in lack instead of abundance. The moment you feel fear creeping in, use your command. Speak your truth out loud. "I am rich in substance," and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Fear and faith can't occupy the same space, so choose the one that serves you. Now, let's add a bit of humor here. You ever notice how people treat money like an unpredictable ex? They chase it, cry about it, and then complain when it doesn't call back. But money isn't a moody ex, it's more like a loyal friend waiting for you to stop sending mixed signals. When you start affirming your wealth, you're sending one clear message: "I'm ready for you." And when money feels welcomed, it shows up. Here's something powerful you can do tonight before bed. Write down 3 things you're grateful for financially. It could be as small as, "I had money to buy my lunch," or "I received a discount today." Then write the command again. "I am rich in substance," and the universe rushes to fulfill it. As you write, imagine yourself surrounded by light, golden, abundant energy. You're telling your subconscious, "This is my truth." Do that for 21 days, and you'll start seeing shifts. Because here's what happens when you live in the vibration of abundance. You start to expect good things. You stop panicking when expenses arise. You stop comparing your journey to others. You stop rushing. You trust divine timing. And in that calm confidence, money flows naturally toward you because wealth loves peace. And please remember, this isn't just about money. It's about expansion, mental, emotional, and spiritual. When you master the energy of wealth, everything else in your life elevates. Your relationships, your health, your creativity, they all flourish because abundance is holistic. It's not limited to your wallet. So, as you go about your day, I want you to keep this phrase in your heart. "The substance of wealth is within me, and I command it into visible supply." Say it whenever doubt shows up. Say it when you pay a bill. Say it when you dream big. The more you say it, the more your life aligns with it. And now, here's your small action step for today, something simple but powerful. After watching this video, I want you to stand up, take a deep breath, and declare your command out loud 3 times. "I am rich in substance," and the universe rushes to fulfill it. Say it like you're placing an order with divine certainty. Then go about your day with quiet confidence that your order has been received and is being prepared for delivery. And when you see little signs, unexpected blessings, new ideas, sudden favor, acknowledge them. Say, "Thank you, universe. I see the evidence." That gratitude keeps the flow open. You have the power to transform your financial story, and it starts with one command. So go ahead, command your wealth. Speak it daily. Walk in confidence. Circulate with joy. And remember, the universe is not against you, it's waiting for your clear direction. Now, if this message stirred something inside you, if you feel ready to speak abundance into your life, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Write, "I am rich in substance," in the comments to claim your declaration. And subscribe, because the more we grow together, the stronger our collective vibration of abundance becomes. The universe listens when you speak with faith. So speak boldly, live joyfully, and expect miracles, because the command has already been given and the fulfillment has already begun.
Every man holds within himself a key he may not know he possesses. It does not shine like gold, nor make a sound when turned. Yet it opens a secret door, a door hidden from the hurried eyes of the world. This door leads not only to outward triumphs, but to inner serenity. It does not swing open by chance or through struggle, but by the steady alignment of thought with divine law. Success is not something to chase. It is something to allow. You may have knocked on many doors, doors of toil, of ambition, of desperate planning. But those doors are often closed tight, yielding only frustration or temporary gain. The secret door is different. It responds not to force but to faith. To walk through it, you must believe before you see, speak before it appears, and act as though what you seek is already yours. The world may call this foolishness, but Spirit calls it power. Every thought is a hammer. Every word is a chisel. You are building your tomorrow with your today. As long as you speak defeat, lack, or delay, you block the secret door. But speak the word of victory, and you step into the light of answered prayer. There is no success outside of divine order. When man aligns with the infinite, mountains move. Doors appear where there were only walls, and time bends to purpose. Many live lives of quiet questioning, wondering why they try so hard, yet advance so little. They do not realize they are working against their own good with doubt, with fear, with complaint. The subconscious mind obeys. If you speak of failure, it obeys failure. If you speak of triumph, it obeys triumph. The secret door is not hidden from you, but for you. Hidden from the eyes that see only lack. Hidden from ears that hear only bad news. But it reveals itself to the soul that dares to imagine, the voice that speaks blessing, the heart that stands in faith when all seems dark. Step back from worry. Release your grasp on the how. Speak the word of good, expect the unexpected. For when you least expect it, when you surrender the burden and trust the law, the door swings open in silence, and you find yourself standing in the land of answered desires. There is no limit to what lies beyond it. There is no lack in divine supply. Your part is simple: keep your mind stayed on truth. Let your word be life, and your path will unfold in peace, prosperity, and perfect timing. Success is often pursued as something external, something out there in the world waiting to be captured through hard work, clever planning, or relentless ambition. People spend years chasing opportunities, climbing ladders, and forcing outcomes, believing that by sheer human effort, they will eventually arrive at a place called success. Yet many find themselves exhausted, disillusioned, or constantly falling short. The deeper truth, often ignored, is that success is not truly achieved by struggle or striving. It comes through harmony with divine law. Divine law is the unseen order behind all things. It governs the universe with exactness, balance, and justice. It is not influenced by emotion, by circumstance, or by appearances. Just as gravity operates whether or not we believe in it, divine law functions with unwavering precision, responding not to fear or effort, but to alignment. To align with this law is to align with success itself, because in truth, success is already yours. It is the law's natural outflow when the mind and heart are rightly attuned. Struggle, as commonly understood, often stems from a belief in separation. Man thinks he is alone, working against a hostile world, competing for limited resources, fighting to make things happen. This belief creates resistance, and resistance delays or distorts results. The more a person pushes, the more friction is created between his desire and its manifestation. But when man remembers that he is not separate, that he is a divine instrument working in harmony with a higher pattern, he ceases to strain and begins to cooperate. And in that cooperation, things begin to flow. Alignment with divine law begins in consciousness. It is not about outer action first. It is inner realization. It is the still awareness that your supply, your guidance, your opportunity, and your success are already prepared for you. You are not trying to create them from nothing. You are allowing them to emerge through your faith, your thought, and your speech. Just as a flower grows when it is aligned with light and water and warmth, so does success grow when the individual is aligned with divine wisdom, divine timing, and divine order. To align with the law, one must first clear away false beliefs. If a person believes that life is unfair, that success is reserved for the lucky few, that nothing good comes without pain, then that person will be bound by those beliefs. The law does not argue. It simply reflects. If you declare that life is hard, then life becomes hard, not because it is inherently so, but because the law is fulfilling your decree. You are the sower, and the law is the soil. Whatever you plant in consciousness, whether faith or fear, truth or error, will come forth after its kind. Once a person begins to understand this, everything changes. He realizes that his work is not to force outer conditions, but to purify his thoughts and words. He begins to replace the idea of lack with the truth of divine supply. He releases the belief in chance and affirms the certainty of divine guidance. He ceases to speak limitation and begins to speak abundance. In doing so, he moves out of discord and into rhythm. He finds that what once seemed difficult now happens with surprising ease. Doors open, people assist. Ideas arrive, and the way becomes clear. Not because he pushed harder, but because he let go of resistance and trusted the law. Alignment is not passivity. It is receptivity. It is interactivity, spiritual alertness, and the willingness to be led. It is listening instead of forcing, obeying the still small voice rather than chasing every opportunity that appears. The person who is aligned with divine law is not frantic. He is not in a hurry. He knows that what is his cannot be taken, and what is not his will not stay. He walks in peace, even when there is no outward sign, because he knows that spiritual law is at work, unseen, perhaps but never inactive. True success, lasting, peaceful, and full, never violates the law. It never requires betrayal, deceit, or exhaustion. It flows from right use of thought, word, and expectation. To live in harmony with the law is to live in expectation of good. It is to see beyond appearances and hold fast to the unseen reality. It is to know that what is prepared for you is better than what you could force for yourself. The law is not moved by need, it is moved by belief. And belief is a choice, renewed each day by what you focus on, what you speak, and what you accept as true. Those who live in constant struggle often do not realize they are working against the current of their own good. They say they want success, but they affirm failure. They speak of opportunity, but expect rejection. They move forward with their feet, but backward with their thoughts. This inner contradiction creates confusion, delays, and disorder. But once the inner world is made clear, once thought, feeling, and speech are brought into agreement with truth, the outer world reshapes accordingly. The law begins to mirror the new consciousness, and what once seemed distant comes near. This understanding changes not only individual success, but also the way we measure it. No longer is success about status or comparison. It becomes about alignment, how closely one's life reflects the divine pattern within. A person may have much outward achievement but be far from peace, and therefore not truly successful. Another may walk a quiet path yet be filled with purpose, joy, and flow, and in that stillness, fulfill a destiny far greater than imagined. Divine law sees beyond appearances and measures not by the world's standards, but by harmony. There is great rest in this truth. You do not have to force open doors or convince the world of your worth. You do not have to struggle to be seen or heard. Your part is to align. When the inner world is right, the outer must conform. The law cannot be broken, but it can be used, and when rightly used, with faith, with clarity, with gratitude, it becomes the most powerful ally a soul can have. Faith and the spoken word are the keys that unlock the secret door to success. They are not mere habits of optimism or pleasant self-talk. They are tools of spiritual creation, forces that shape the invisible substance of life into visible form. The world may view words as casual, thrown about in conversation without consequence, and faith as merely hope dressed in wishful thinking. But under divine law, words are power, and faith is law in action. The one who masters his faith and his word becomes the master of his conditions. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is not blind belief, nor is it based on appearances. It is a knowing, an inner conviction, that what is unseen is more real than what is seen, because all that appears in the material world was first formed in the realm of spirit. Faith is the builder. It does not wait for confirmation. It speaks the end from the beginning. It is a spiritual law that whatever is held in unwavering belief must come to pass. Not because of chance, but because belief sets the creative forces in motion. Your word is your wand. Every time you speak, you are decreeing something into form. Whether you know it or not, your words are working. They do not stop and ask whether you meant them. They do not discriminate between positive and negative. They simply obey the law that says what a man sows, he reaps. A careless word spoken in jest, if repeated enough, takes root. A declaration made in fear, if not corrected, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is why idle words are not idle at all. They build, they destroy, they attract, they repel. The law responds not to your intentions, but to your declaration. When faith and the spoken word are joined, they become unstoppable. To speak with faith is to command with authority. It is to call forth that which is not, as though it were. The moment you speak a word with conviction, unmoved by doubt, unmoved by appearances, you set the creative law in motion. The outer world may not shift immediately, but the inner blueprint has changed, and in time, the outer must reflect the inner. This is not superstition. This is not magic. It is spiritual science, the precise operation of cause and effect in the realm of consciousness. Faith does not plead. It does not beg, it knows. A person who truly believes does not ask over and over again. They speak the word once and then give thanks, knowing it is done. Their behavior changes. Their expectations shift. They walk as one who already possesses what they have claimed. This mental and emotional alignment is what draws the unseen into the seen. Doubt, on the other hand, causes delays. It sends mixed signals to the law. One moment you affirm success, the next you speak of failure. The law becomes confused, not because it lacks intelligence, but because it mirrors your contradiction. You cannot speak defeat and win. You cannot speak lack and expect abundance. Many people undermine their own desires with words of fear, complaint, sarcasm, or bitterness. They pray for a miracle, but in the next breath talk about how things never work out. This double-mindedness weakens faith and cancels the creative power of the word. Your word must be clear, deliberate, and sustained. You must speak what you seek until you see what you spoke, and even then, you continue to affirm. Because life is always unfolding, always responding to your present belief. There is no power in the word unless it is backed by belief. You may repeat affirmations all day, but if you do not believe them, they fall to the ground. Repetition alone is not faith. True faith is emotionalized. It is charged with feeling, with conviction, with expectation. It is not about saying the right phrase. It is about saying it with the energy of certainty. When you declare, "I am successful," you must feel the vibration of success already being yours. You must let the body, the voice, the mind all agree with that reality. Then the law moves to fulfill it. The spoken word creates an atmosphere. When you speak life, peace, and abundance, you create a field of energy that attracts those very things. People feel it. Circumstances respond to it. Doors begin to open. Not because you manipulated them, but because your word has gone ahead and prepared the way. The spoken word is not limited by time or space. It sends out vibrations into the ether, and those vibrations draw to you the people, opportunities, and outcomes that match your declaration. The law is impersonal. It does not judge. It simply reflects what you declare as true. Faith is strengthened through use. Like a muscle, it grows with exercise. Every time you choose to believe instead of doubt, to affirm instead of complain, to expect good instead of bracing for trouble, your faith becomes stronger. And as your faith grows, so does the power of your word. You begin to see results more quickly. You begin to trust the process more deeply. Your life takes on a new rhythm, not of striving, but of unfolding. You realize that your words are seeds, and your faith is the water. You do not dig up the seed to see if it's working. You water it with praise and patience. You must also guard against the influence of others. Many well-meaning people will speak fear, lack, and limitation over your life. They may not understand the power of their words, but that does not lessen their effect. You must learn to reject anything that does not align with the truth you are claiming. Do not repeat their fears. Do not agree with their doubts. Your word is your own. It must remain unshaken, regardless of what is spoken around you. The creative process requires consistency. It requires vigilance. It requires that you speak only what you want, never what you fear. There may be moments when appearances contradict your faith. The temptation will be to give voice to discouragement. But these are the most important moments to stay in your declaration. Say what is true, not what is obvious. Speak of supply when lack appears. Speak of healing when symptoms arise. Speak of peace when chaos surrounds you. This is not denial. It is spiritual authority. You are not pretending the problem doesn't exist. You are asserting that divine law is greater than any problem, and that your word, spoken in faith, has power to change what is seen by changing what is believed. The subconscious mind is the silent builder of your life. It is the storehouse of memory, habit, and belief. It does not argue, reason, or analyze. It simply accepts what is impressed upon it and brings it into manifestation. Whether those impressions are formed through repetition, emotion, or vivid imagination, the subconscious treats them all as instructions. And the truth that often goes unrecognized is that it obeys not the wish, not the fleeting desire, but the dominant thought and word. This means that you are always instructing your subconscious mind. Every word you speak, every thought you dwell upon, every mental image you nurture becomes a command. You may say you desire success, yet if your prevailing thought is one of failure, if your daily words speak of lack, delay, or doubt, then it is failure, not success, that your subconscious will act upon. It is impartial and obedient. It does not filter for your highest good. It reflects what you give it most consistently. The power of the subconscious lies in its creative nature. It draws upon the universal substance of life and shapes it into form. It operates through the law of correspondence, reproducing externally what is held internally. If the inner world is filled with fear, scarcity, and limitation, then these must show up in outer experience. Conversely, when the inner atmosphere is saturated with confidence, peace, and expectancy of good, then those very conditions must appear. There is no escape from this law. It is always operating, always producing after its kind. This is why inner discipline is so vital. It is not enough to speak a few affirmations in the morning and then let the rest of the day be filled with worry, gossip, and complaint. The subconscious responds to consistency and feeling. It takes its orders from the strongest and most repeated impressions. A single declaration of faith may be neutralized by hours of negative self-talk. It is not the one-time statement that carries weight. It is the daily pattern of thought and speech that shapes reality. Many people unknowingly work against themselves by planting one idea in the morning and digging it up with words of fear by evening. They set a goal, affirm their desire, visualize success, but then speak of obstacles, expect delay, or dwell on what might go wrong. The subconscious, receiving both signals, responds to the dominant one. And more often than not, it is the voice of fear that carries greater emotional charge and repetition, making it the ruling influence. This is not punishment. It is law functioning as it was designed. To shift your results, you must shift your impressions. You must take conscious control of your inner conversation. Become aware of the words you say silently and aloud. Listen to how you describe your life, your work, your health, your relationships. Are your words in agreement with the life you want to live, or do they reflect the life you wish to leave behind? The subconscious is always listening. It is always recording. It is always creating. What you speak with emotion imprints the subconscious more deeply than what you say with little feeling. That is why words spoken in fear, anger, or deep sadness often produce strong results, because the emotion fuels them. But the same principle works for good. When you speak your truth with confidence, when you affirm success with joy, when you declare abundance with gratitude, you impress the subconscious with a force that compels results. It is not mechanical repetition that brings power. It is living speech, charged with belief. You are not a victim of your subconscious, you are its master. But mastery requires vigilance. It requires choosing your thoughts and words with care, not letting old patterns run unchecked. It is easy to fall into habitual phrases. I always mess things up. Nothing ever works for me. I'm just not that lucky. These seem harmless, but they are creative declarations. The subconscious accepts them, builds upon them, and organizes your experience to match them. You may not even remember saying them, but they are already working. To change the program, you must speak a new language. Begin to declare what you wish to be true. Even if the evidence is not yet visible, say, "Everything is working out for me. Opportunities flow easily. I am divinely guided and abundantly supplied." At first, these words may feel foreign. They may even stir resistance. But if you persist, if you say them daily, feel them deeply, and allow no contradiction, they will begin to sink in. The subconscious will begin to accept them, and once accepted, they will bear fruit. It is helpful to understand that the subconscious does not work instantly, but it works certainly. There is a gestation period, just like in nature. You do not plant a seed and expect a tree tomorrow. You nurture it, water it, protect it, and trust the process. So it is with mental impressions. Some changes manifest quickly, others take time. But the law is always at work. The subconscious is always responding to your dominant belief. If you remain steady, the outer will eventually match the inner. You may find that your outer world tries to tempt you back into old thinking. A bill arrives, a project delays, someone speaks doubt. These are tests, not of punishment but of power. Will you speak from appearance, or will you speak from truth? The one who masters the subconscious mind is the one who continues to affirm the desired outcome, regardless of what the senses report. They do not deny reality, they choose to create a higher one. Impressing the subconscious is not about force, but about persistence. It is not about desperate repetition, but about calm conviction. The most powerful statements are those made in stillness, with trust, and without contradiction. You say them, and then you act in harmony with them. If you declare that you are successful, then walk like it. Think like it, expect like it. Let your behavior align with your belief, and the subconscious will respond with precision. Dreams do not remain in the realm of the unseen forever. Once accepted by the subconscious mind, they begin to move into form. Circumstances adjust. People are drawn. Ideas surface. The law of attraction is simply the subconscious magnetizing your outer life to reflect your inner state. There is no need to chase what is yours by law. Your part is to believe, speak, and expect, knowing that the subconscious mind is carrying out your instructions with unwavering fidelity. The choice is always before you. Will you feed the subconscious with fear or faith? Will your word reflect limitation or liberty? Will your thoughts be governed by appearances or guided by truth? The subconscious cannot decide for you. It can only obey. It is your servant, not your ruler. But it is a faithful servant. Give it clarity, give it direction, and it will shape your world accordingly, without hesitation, without deviation, without fail. Doubt, fear, and complaint are the great enemies of manifestation. They do not simply delay blessings, they actively block them. These forces work quietly, often disguised as realism or caution, but their effects are powerful and precise. Under divine law, what is spoken and believed is what comes into form. To entertain doubt is to plant uncertainty. To dwell in fear is to cultivate defeat. To give voice to complaint is to affirm that lack and hardship are the dominant truth. The law, ever obedient, mirrors back these inner conditions as outer experience. Doubt is the denial of divine order. It interrupts the creative process by introducing conflict. When a person affirms one thing, but mentally or emotionally doubts its possibility, they are sowing opposing seeds in the garden of the subconscious. The law does not respond to the spoken word alone, it responds to the belief behind the word. A declaration made without conviction is like a seed planted in dry soil. It may sit there, but it will not grow. True belief waters the seed and anchors it deep within the subconscious, where it takes root and begins to form visible results. Fear is even more magnetic than faith when it is allowed to dominate. This is because fear often carries intense emotional charge, and emotion gives weight to thought. The subconscious does not differentiate between what is desired and what is dreaded. It only responds to the strongest emotional current. A person may visualize success but live in constant fear of failure, and it is the fear that becomes the prevailing vibration. What is feared most passionately is often what manifests, not because fate is cruel, but because the law is exact. It does not bring what is wanted, it brings what is expected. Fear also clouds intuition and obscures guidance. When the mind is troubled, it cannot hear the still small voice of inner wisdom. Decisions made from fear are reactive, hurried, and usually out of alignment with truth. A person acting from fear becomes tangled in confusion, doubt, and cycles of misdirection. This mental state is not conducive to receiving blessings because it is out of harmony with the divine pattern, which is always one of peace, order, and perfect timing. Until fear is quieted, the channel through which good flows remains partially blocked. Complaint is perhaps the most subtle yet dangerous of the three. It is a habitual declaration of dissatisfaction with life. Each time a person complains, they are affirming that something is wrong, that conditions are lacking, that they are separate from the good they desire. Complaint is a negative prayer. It calls more of the same into being. It focuses attention on limitation, which then expands in perception and experience. The more one complains about money, the more reasons arise to continue complaining. The more one speaks of bad luck, the more life seems to conform to that belief. Even light-hearted complaining reinforces the vibration of lack. The subconscious takes all speech seriously. It does not understand sarcasm or dramatization. If a person repeatedly says, "I'm always broke," "Nothing ever goes right," or "I just can't catch a break," the subconscious treats these as commands. It begins to organize the person's experience to fulfill them. This is not superstition, it is spiritual law functioning as it was created to do. Every word carries energy and energy organizes matter. Speak loss and loss begins to form. Speak delay and delay shows up. The tongue is a creative tool, not a toy. One cannot walk the path of success while speaking the language of defeat. This does not mean denying facts, but it does mean refusing to dwell on them. Divine law does not require us to lie, but it does require us to choose our focus. If a challenge arises, acknowledge it and then affirm its solution. If a delay occurs, declare divine timing at work. If a door closes, speak of a better one opening. This is not mere positive thinking, it is spiritual discipline. It is the conscious refusal to partner with fear, doubt, or complaint in creating your reality. The most potent transformations occur when a person becomes vigilant over their inner dialogue. Each thought is examined, each spoken word weighed. Not in fear of saying the wrong thing, but in reverence for the power of the word. When the tongue is used as an instrument of truth, it opens the way for miracles. When thought is guarded and uplifted, the subconscious becomes a garden of rich, fertile soil. The seeds of faith grow quickly there. The weeds of fear find no place to root. It is not enough to occasionally speak words of affirmation while unconsciously entertaining doubt. Faith must be made dominant. This does not mean one must never feel fear. It means fear is not allowed to rule. When it arises, it is observed, confronted, and released. When the mind begins to worry, it is gently but firmly redirected. When a complaint begins to form, it is replaced with a statement of gratitude. This is the inner work. This is the refinement of consciousness that makes one ready to receive their good. Some people believe they must earn their blessings through effort alone, yet unknowingly sabotage those efforts with inner resistance. They plan, work, strive, but speak against themselves with thoughts of unworthiness, fear of failure, or anger at circumstances. The law cannot override this internal contradiction. It can only reflect it. For every effort made in the outer world, there must be alignment within. Without that alignment, blessings are delayed, not by fate, but by vibration. The universe cannot give what the subconscious is instructed to reject. To remove blocks, one must become consistent in word and thought. Speak only what you want. Expect only what you desire. Think only in harmony with the outcome you seek. This does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means aligning your energy with the truth that divine order is active, even if unseen. It means affirming the presence of solution, even when the problem appears large. It means trusting the process and refusing to curse the soil before the harvest has come. The creative process is delicate in the early stages. Just as a seedling can be destroyed by careless hands, a new desire can be weakened by careless thought. It must be protected from the harsh winds of doubt, fear, and complaint. It must be nurtured by truth, watered with faith, and guarded by silence when necessary. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every emotion needs to be indulged. The wise creator chooses which thoughts to energize and which words to release. The more you practice faith and guard your words, the less room there is for the lower vibrations. They lose their hold. Fear may knock, but it is not answered. Doubt may whisper, but it is not entertained. Complaint may tempt the tongue, but it is replaced with praise. This is not repression. It is redirection. It is the conscious use of the will to align with higher law. And in that alignment, blessings begin to flow not as isolated miracles, but as the natural result of inner harmony. Expectation is a magnetic force. It draws to you the very thing you prepare for in thought, word, and attitude. To expect good is to stand in spiritual agreement with divine supply. It is to believe without needing proof that something wonderful is already on its way. When you live in expectancy, you are not waiting in anxiety or need. You are resting in the quiet confidence that what you have asked for is already moving toward you. You are not commanding the universe, you are cooperating with it. You are not chasing the outcome, you are preparing the space for it to enter. Expectation opens the channels through which good can come. It creates an atmosphere of readiness, which allows you to recognize opportunity when it appears. Without expectation, blessings may pass unnoticed. The mind that expects nothing becomes blind to everything. It filters life through doubt and disbelief, unable to accept that the very thing it needs may be arriving in an unexpected form. But when the mind is trained to expect the best, it sees through the eyes of faith, it notices signs, it picks up on guidance, it acts in alignment with its own desires, not out of force, but from inner knowing. Surrender is the companion of expectation. It is not resignation or giving up. It is the spiritual release of control over the how and when. When you surrender, you do not stop moving forward. You simply stop pushing. You stop insisting that things happen on your terms and in your time. You trust that the divine pattern is unfolding in perfect sequence. You allow divine intelligence to orchestrate the details beyond your comprehension. While your human mind is limited in vision, the infinite sees all. It knows the shortest path, the right moment, the most graceful solution. When you surrender control, you step into flow. Things begin to align without struggle. People show up, ideas appear, circumstances shift. What once felt delayed now feels divinely timed. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, not by effort, but by guidance. This flow is not random. It is the natural rhythm of life when resistance is removed. To expect good and surrender the outcome is to place yourself directly in that rhythm. You stop interfering with the process. You stop digging up the seed to see if it is growing. You rest in confidence and let the law fulfill itself. Many people expect trouble, not blessing. They rehearse disappointment. They prepare for things to go wrong, believing it is a form of protection. But all they are doing is aligning with what they do not want. They fear loss and so attract loss. They anticipate delay and so create delay. The law responds to their most dominant expectation, not their occasional wish. It does not reward fear-based preparation. It mirrors belief. When someone says, "I knew that would happen," they are often right. Not because they are psychic, but because they expected it, spoke of it, planned for it, and emotionally accepted it as truth. Expectation must be chosen deliberately. It must be trained. It is not a mood, it is a discipline. You wake up and choose to expect good, regardless of yesterday. You look at a situation and choose to see the hidden good, regardless of appearances. You speak of outcomes you desire, not in fantasy, but in faith. You prepare your life for the very things you pray for. If you are asking for opportunity, do you keep your calendar open? If you are asking for love, do you make room in your heart? If you are asking for success, do you carry yourself like one who is ready to receive it? True expectation changes behavior. It is not passive. It causes you to act in ways that match your belief. A person who truly expects abundance will not speak of lack. One who expects healing will not talk endlessly about symptoms. One who expects success will not keep rehearsing failure. There is a deep consistency that emerges between belief, speech, and action. And this consistency is what creates powerful momentum. The subconscious receives a clear signal and responds with precision. You do not have to know how it will come. You only have to believe that it will. The human mind often wants details, a timeline, a plan, a promise. But spiritual law does not work through control. It works through trust. The one who expects good lets go of the need to manipulate the process. They follow inspiration, act on guidance, and allow the outcome to unfold in its own perfect way. Sometimes what arrives is even better than what was asked for. Sometimes the route is unfamiliar but leads to the exact right place. Expectation leaves room for miracles. Expectation also protects against discouragement. When delays occur or detours arise, the expectant mind does not panic. It understands that the delay is not denial. It recognizes that a redirection may be a form of protection. Because the root belief remains intact, the emotional reaction is balanced. There is no collapse into fear. There is no spiral of doubt. There is patience, not passive waiting, but active trust. This steadiness keeps the channel open and allows good to continue moving toward you without interruption. To expect good is also to declare that you are worthy of it. Many people unknowingly block their blessings with feelings of unworthiness. They believe good things are for others. They have accepted the lie that they must suffer, strive, or prove themselves before they can receive. But expectation is a bold declaration of worth. It says, "I am ready, I am open, I am deserving." This energy is magnetic. It sends a signal to the universe that you are no longer resisting your good. You are not chasing it. You are welcoming it. This energy of welcome must be cultivated. It is easy to fall into old patterns of doubt, fear, and control. But each time you catch yourself and choose a new thought, a new word, a new expectation, you shift the current. You realign with truth. You remind your subconscious and the universe of what you are preparing for. You affirm not only with your mouth, but with your posture, your habits, your decisions. Everything begins to reflect your new state of being. You must also expect the unexpected. Often blessings come in forms you did not imagine. The answer to your prayer may arrive through a different person, a different path, a different timing. If you are too rigid in your expectations, you may miss the gift. But if your expectation is rooted in trust rather than control, you remain open. You recognize the answer even when it wears a different face. You accept the unfolding even when it bends the rote. You stay in harmony with the outcome, even when the process surprises you. Gratitude strengthens expectation. When you give thanks before the blessing arrives, you amplify your belief. You say to the law, I already know this is mine. Gratitude is not an afterthought. It is a signal to the subconscious that the thing is already present in some form. It moves your focus from lack to fulfillment, from waiting to receiving. When you pair gratitude with expectation, you stand on the threshold of manifestation. The door opens not by force, but by faith. The blessing rushes in because the space has been made for it. The light enters because you prepared a place in the dark.
You are standing at a threshold. Behind you is the path of waiting, before you the path of remembering, and you must choose. Right now, you cannot have a foot on both. The woman who waits hopes life will one day give her permission. She stands at the edge of her own becoming, a spectator to her own power, looking for a sign, a signal, a guarantee that her dreams are possible. She lives in a state of quiet negotiation with life, hoping that if she is good enough, patient enough, deserving enough, her turn will finally come. But the woman who remembers, she walks a different path. She understands that the universe does not lead, it responds. She knows that there is no power outside of her that is greater than the divine intelligence already breathing within her. She does not ask for permission. She gives life its instructions. This is not a fantasy. This is a faculty, a forgotten power that resides within you, waiting to be reclaimed. Florence Scovel Shinn, a woman whose voice of truth cuts through the noise of a century, was a master of this remembrance. Before the world whispered about manifestation, she spoke of it as a law, as dependable as gravity, as clear as mathematics. It's important to understand how radical this was. In a world that taught women to be small, to pray for rescue, she taught them to command their reality. She stood in the quiet and sometimes lonely, knowing that our inner world is the cause and our outer world is the effect. Period. This clarity was often mistaken for arrogance, this faith for fantasy. But she was simply offering a homecoming to a truth our souls already know. She did not teach this from a gilded tower of theory. She learned it in the holy fire of her own life. She knew loss. She knew rejection. She knew what it was to be silenced. And yet, from that very place of seeming defeat, she rose, not by fighting the world, but by realigning her own mind. She proved, with her own 2 feet on the ground, that your inner posture dictates your outer experience. So I will ask you, softly but directly, from what posture have you been living? Take a breath and feel it in your body. The posture of waiting feels like a contraction. The shoulders are rounded forward as if bracing for a blow. The breath is shallow, held high in the chest. There is an energy of apology in this posture, a feeling of, am I asking for too much? It is the posture of the one who hopes not to be noticed, lest her dreams be taken away. The posture of remembering is different. It is an expansion. The spine is long and straight. The breath is deep, rooted in the belly. The heart is open. It is not an aggressive stance, but one of quiet authority. It is the posture of a queen in her own domain who knows her worth is not up for debate. It is the posture of a woman who knows she is not a burden on the universe, but a beloved co-creator with it. From which posture have you been speaking, thinking, and creating? If you truly, deeply understood the power that resides in your own conscious speech, you would never again utter the words, I can't. You would never again describe your life with words of struggle. You would understand that to speak of the problem is to feed the problem. You would guard the gates of your mind as fiercely as you would guard the door to your home. You are not here to wish. You are not here to hope. You are here to remember. To remember that the dream living in your heart is not a random, selfish fantasy. It is a spiritual assignment. It is a divine breadcrumb, a message from the highest part of you, whispering, this is the next evolution of my expression on earth. I have chosen you as the vessel. Will you allow me to unfold through you? Your desire is not a distraction. It is your destiny calling.
To deny it is to deny the very impulse of life that seeks to express itself more fully through you. Florence didn't teach people to chase after their desires. She taught them to command their reality through unwavering internal alignment. She knew a profound truth. The thing you desire already exists. It is fully formed in the invisible realm of spirit. Your only task is to prepare a space for it within yourself, to remove the inner blocks of doubt, fear, and unworthiness that tell you it isn't yours to have. Every single person you admire had to cross the exact same threshold you are standing at right now, the threshold between doubt and decision. Consider Sarah Blakely. Before she became a billionaire, she was selling fax machines. She had no formal business training, no powerful connections. By all external measures, the world was not giving her signs of success, but she wasn't looking to the world for signs. She was generating the sign from within. While her reality was fax machines, her inner world was already that of a successful founder. She had a vision, yes, but more than that, she had active faith. When she finally created her product, her deep, unwavering decision was, they are ready for this. This will serve them. That is not hope. That is spiritual law. She did not wait for life to validate her. She decided who she was, and life responded. When seasoned investors laughed, she did not absorb their doubt. She held her knowing. When stores turned her away, she did not see it as rejection. She saw it as divine redirection. That is not hope. That is spiritual law. This is the secret. Your subconscious mind, that deep, fertile feminine part of you, does not respond to proof. It responds to posture. It is the faithful, unquestioning servant of your conscious mind. Imagine it as a dark room where every thought negative you give it is developed into a perfect physical print. It doesn't judge the image, it only develops it. If you hand it images of lack, fear, and not enoughness, it will faithfully produce a life that reflects that. If you consistently hand it clear, vibrant images of wholeness, abundance, and love, it will work tirelessly to bring that reality into form. It cannot do otherwise. Your job is not to force the outcome, but to provide clear, consistent negatives. If you live like your vision is real, the world will follow your lead. But if you live like it's a distant wish, it will remain just beyond your grasp. Florence used to say that when you act as if, you are not pretending. You are preparing. You are rehearsing. You are sending a clear signal to the universe that you are ready. So what is stopping you? That old, familiar story? That insidious voice of doubt that whispers, "Who are you to ask for this?" That voice is not your truth. It is a program, and its reign is over. This is it, your turning point, the sacred, terrible, beautiful moment of choice. And the hesitation must end. Now, decide. Not a soft wish, a command. Decide your vision is fact. Decide your word is law. Decide the waiting is over. Because the moment you choose with this level of fire, life has no choice but to obey. That is not magic. It is your birthright. Once you have made this decision, your real work begins. The sacred work of alignment. You must now practice the identity you have claimed. First, you begin your day with the new posture. Before your feet hit the floor, you lie in the quiet and step into the feeling of the woman you have just decided to be. This is more than a mental exercise. It is a recalibration of your nervous system. You are training your body to feel safe in abundance, to feel at home in love. You feel that feeling, you breathe it into your cells, and you resolve to carry it with you. Second, you engage in the new dialogue. You begin to speak, both internally and externally, from the vision. Think of this as a vibrational diet. You are no longer consuming or producing thoughts of lack and limitation. When a bill arrives, instead of the old thought, you bless it and declare, "My supply is infinite. All my needs are met with a lavish, overflowing surplus." When you feel lonely, you place a hand on your heart and affirm, "I am a powerful magnet for my divinely appointed partner and friendships." You use your word as your wand, consciously and deliberately. Third, you practice the new embodiment. You take small, physical actions that align with the decision you have made. This is prayer in motion. It collapses the time between your decision and its manifestation because it proves your belief to yourself. If you desire a thriving business, you clear your desk. If you desire partnership, you make space in your closet. You romance and honor yourself. These are not silly games. These are powerful signals of preparation. You are telling the universe, I am not just asking, I am ready. The space is prepared. Do not be discouraged by the silence that may follow your command. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up. You trust the process. Your new belief is a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious. The initial stillness is a sign of deep, inner germination. The old reality may still linger for a time, like the echo of a bell after it has been struck. This is normal. The discomfort you may feel is the friction between your old energetic signature and the new one you are embodying. It is a sign of profound success. It means the old is dissolving. Your job is to hold the faith, to keep watering the seed with your focused attention. The old self will rise up to test you. It will scream for your attention. See these thoughts, thank them for trying to protect you, and gently, firmly return your focus to your new truth. You are not broken. You were never broken. You are simply remembering the language your soul has always spoken. Do not let this be another moment of passive inspiration. Let this be your moment of activation, a line drawn in the sand of your own soul. The world doesn't need to hear your decision, but your subconscious mind demands it. It is waiting for its new, clear instructions. So go to the comments now and make your declaration. Type the words that seal your new reality. I decide now. 2 words. That's all it takes to begin. 2 words to end the waiting forever. The dream is already here. The divine blueprint is already drawn. Will you finally give it a body to live in? You wake up. Before your eyes are fully open, you feel it. A familiar weight on your chest, a low hum of anxiety in your belly. Your first thought of the day isn't even your own. It's an echo of yesterday's worry, a premonition of a future problem. It slips in, uninvited, and sets the tone for everything that follows. You feel it in the car, as you rehearse a difficult conversation that hasn't happened yet, bracing for the worst. You feel it when you look in the mirror, and the voice that speaks is not one of kindness, but of harsh critique. You feel it when you check your email, your shoulders tensing in anticipation of another demand, another fire to put out. This is a game you are playing. At this very moment, you did not consciously choose it. You were not taught the rules. And yet, with every thought, every feeling, every quiet assumption, you play. Most of us are playing on defense, reacting, bracing, fearing the next move from an opponent we cannot see. We believe the game is one of luck, of chance, of circumstance. We think the board is tilted against us. But what if I told you that you are not just a piece on the board? What if I told you that you are the one moving all the pieces? A century ago, in an age of great upheaval and discovery, a woman of profound and simple clarity named Florence Scovel Shinn laid out the rules for us. She looked at the world, at the people who struggled and the people who soared, and she saw a single, unwavering law at play. She called it the game of life, and her first rule was this: the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. This is the core teaching, the foundation upon which your entire reality is built. It is not a poetic metaphor, it is a spiritual mechanic. A law as real and as unfailing as gravity. Your inner world, the world of your dominant thoughts, your secret beliefs, your vivid imaginings, the cause. Your outer world, your health, your relationships, your finances, your career is the effect. Your mind is an architect, and your imagination is its most powerful tool. With it, you are constantly drawing up the blueprints for your life. The universe, in its infinite and impartial intelligence, simply looks at the plans you are holding and begins to build. It does not judge the plans. It does not question them. It does not care if the blueprint is for a shack or a temple. It only knows how to build, and it builds with perfect, unerring precision, according to the design you have given it. The game isn't about luck, it's about strategy. The strategy of the mind. Let's bring this down from the clouds and place it right here, on the ground where you live. Let's talk about how this blueprint works in the quiet corners of your daily existence. Think of the person who deeply, desperately wants a loving, committed partnership. They desire connection, intimacy, a feeling of being truly seen. They may even actively date and pursue relationships, but the blueprint they are holding, deep within their subconscious mind, is a design of unworthiness. Perhaps it was sketched in childhood by a feeling of being misunderstood. Perhaps it was drawn by a past betrayal that left a scar. But the design is there, and it whispers, "You are too much. You are not enough." If they see the real you, they will leave. So, when a new connection begins to deepen, an inner alarm goes off. They become anxious. They start looking for flaws in the other person as a defense mechanism, or they begin to subtly self-sabotage, picking a fight, pulling away, creating distance to avoid being rejected first. Their energy, their focus, their entire being is vibrating with the fear of not being truly lovable. And so, the universe, reading their true blueprint, the one written in the ink of fear, faithfully delivers partners who are emotionally distant, relationships that feel promising but then inexplicably fizzle out, a pattern of connections that never quite land. Their boomerang of fear returns to them with astounding accuracy, and they look at the empty space beside them and think, "See? I knew it. It always happens to me. Love is not for me." They don't realize they are the architect of their own loneliness. They are playing the game, but they are playing it to lose. Or consider the brilliant, capable person at work. They are creative, intuitive, dedicated. A new project or a leadership position opens up. It's the perfect opportunity for growth. Everyone can see they are the ideal candidate, but their blueprint, drawn in the faint, faded pencil of 1,000 small criticisms from their past, reads, "You are an imposter. You will be found out. Who are you to think you can do this?" So, when the opportunity arises, they hesitate. They tell themselves they need more experience, more training. In the meeting, they stay quiet, even though they have the answer. They hold back their best ideas for fear of judgment. Their inner critic is so loud, it drowns out the voice of their own genius. Another person, perhaps with less natural talent but holding a blueprint that reads, "I am capable, and I take bold action," steps forward and claims the opportunity. And our brilliant person returns to their desk, the boomerang of their self-doubt landing quietly in their lap. And they think, "I guess I just don't have what it takes. I missed my chance." They are holding the plans for a cage and wondering why they cannot fly. This law is impartial. It governs everything. Think about money. The person who works tirelessly, who is responsible and diligent, but lives in a state of constant gnawing anxiety about finances. Their blueprint is a frantic sketch of scarcity. It screams, "There is never enough. You are going to lose what you have. Be careful." They check their bank account with a sense of dread. They feel a pang of guilt with every necessary purchase. Their dominant thought is not on the flow of abundance, but on the fear of the drain. And so, the universe builds according to their plan. The dishwasher breaks. The car needs a sudden, expensive repair. An unexpected bill arrives in the mail. The game of life keeps presenting them with situations that validate their core belief that money is slippery, unreliable, and always scarce. Their reality must conform to their belief. Their boomerang of lack returns to them, proving their deepest fear correct. "You see," they say, their stomach in knots. "It's always one step forward, 2 steps back. I can never get ahead." They don't see that their focus on the hole is precisely what keeps the shovel in their hands. This is not punishment. This is not cosmic cruelty. This is law. Your life, right now, in this moment, is a perfect reflection of the blueprints you have been holding in your mind. And seeing this clearly for the first time, it can sting. It can be painful to realize how long you've been building from a place of fear, not truth. But this clarity is not a condemnation. It is not a judgment. It is the beginning of your freedom. So now, take a soft, deep breath, because here is the most powerful, the most liberating, the most important truth you will hear today. You have been the architect all along. You have been the one drawing the plans. You have been the one holding the pen. You have been the master creator, wielding a power so immense you didn't even know you possessed it. You have been playing this game with incredible skill, creating your reality with pinpoint precision. You just didn't know you were the one in charge. This is not a moment for shame. This is not a moment for blame. This is the moment of your reclamation. This is the moment you stop looking outside of yourself for the cause of your circumstances. The economy, your past, other people, your luck. These are just the weather patterns. They are not the climate. The climate is within you. The power was never out there. It has always been in here. You have simply been building from old blueprints, plans handed down to you, plans you unconsciously accepted as your own. Today, you awaken to the truth. You can pick up the eraser. You can draw a new line. You can tear up the old designs and begin, right now, to draft a masterpiece. Florence said, "Man's word is his wand. Filled with magic and power, it is time to pick up your wand." So, how do we begin? How do we move from being an unconscious creator to a conscious one? How do we start playing the game to win? We do it not with force, not with struggle, but with a gentle, deliberate, and sacred daily practice. There are 3 steps. Step 1. Become the sacred observer. For the next 24 hours, your only task is to watch your mind without judgment. Become a silent, loving witness to your thoughts. What is the background music of your mind? Is it a song of worry, of criticism, of resentment? When you think about your finances, what is the very first feeling that arises? Scarcity or ease? When you think about your body, is your inner voice kind or cruel? When you think of your future, do you feel a sense of expansion or a feeling of dread? Do not try to change anything yet. Just observe. Notice the blueprints you have been holding. See them clearly. Perhaps for the first time. Acknowledge them with compassion. Ah, there is the belief that I am not truly worthy of love. I see you. I understand where you came from. This awareness is the sacred ground upon which all transformation is built. You cannot change a pattern you do not see. Step 2. Speak the new law into being. Once you have observed the old blueprint, you must consciously and deliberately replace it. This is done with your word. Your word is your wand. You will create a new law for your life, a new design, and you will speak it into existence. This is the power of affirmation, or as Florence called it, speaking the word. An affirmation is not wishful thinking. It is a statement of divine truth that overrides the false evidence of the senses. You are not trying to make it true. You are declaring what is already true in the realm of spirit and commanding your reality to conform. Find a quiet moment each day, in the morning when you wake, or at night before you sleep. Stand before a mirror if you can. Look into your own eyes and speak your new law with gentle conviction. Here are a few, written in the style of Florence, that you can use. Choose the one that resonates most, or create your own. For clearing old resentments and making way for new good, divine intelligence, I call upon the law of forgiveness. I forgive everyone, and everyone forgives me. The past has no power over me. The slate is wiped clean. My good now comes to me from unexpected avenues, and I am grateful. For calling in abundance and joyful success, I am now on the royal road of abundance, happiness, and self-expression. I am a perfect magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right. My ship comes in now, over a calm sea. For reclaiming your innate worthiness and power, I am a perfect divine idea in the mind of God. I am whole, complete, and unshakable. All that is mine by divine right now finds me, for I am one with the power that creates worlds. Speak it aloud. Feel the vibration of the words in your chest. Let them sink into your bones. You are giving the universe a new blueprint. Step 3. Embody the evidence. This is the final crucial step. You must act as if your new law is already fact. This is faith in action. If your affirmation is for abundance, you no longer speak of lack. You don't complain about prices. You give thanks for the money you have, no matter how small. You might leave a slightly larger tip, an act of faith that says, there is always more where that came from. If your affirmation is for love, you begin to treat yourself like someone who is cherished. You make your home a beautiful sanctuary. You speak to yourself with kindness. You enjoy your own company. You embody the energy of being loved, so that love can find its way to you. If your affirmation is for vibrant health, you stop describing your ailments to others. You speak of your increasing vitality. You move your body with gratitude. You nourish it with care. You act like a person who is well. You must live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This closes the circuit. It aligns your vibration with your new blueprint and makes its manifestation inevitable. Observe, declare, embody. This is the strategy. This is how you play the game. Now, a word of gentle encouragement for the path ahead. When you first start this practice, it may feel strange. It may feel like you are lying to yourself. That is the old programming, the old blueprint, fighting for its existence. And sometimes, just as you begin to feel a shift, the outer world may present you with a test. You declare abundance, and you get an unexpected expense. You declare peace, and an old conflict flares up. Florence called this the army of the aliens, the tribe of negative thoughts like fear, doubt, and discouragement that rush in to challenge your new decree. Do not be afraid. Do not falter. This resistance is not a sign of failure. It is the sound of the old foundation cracking to make way for the new. It is evidence that your word is working. You have flipped a circuit in your mind, and the old wiring is sparking as it loses power. Think of it like this. You have planted a seed of a magnificent oak tree in a garden that has only ever grown weeds. For a while, you will see nothing on the surface, and the weeds, accustomed to having all the space, might even seem to grow more aggressively for a time, trying to choke out the new life. Your job is not to panic. Your job is not to dig up the seed every day to see if it's working. Your job is to faithfully water it with your affirmations, to give it the sunlight of your embodied faith, and to mercilessly pull the weeds of doubt and fear the moment they appear. Trust the process. The outer world may take time to catch up to your inner shift, but the law is the law. The seed, once planted and tended, must grow. The blueprint, once given, must be built. Hold fast to your new vision. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are not at the mercy of a chaotic world. You are a master player who simply forgot the rules of your own magnificent game. Today, you remember. You remember that your mind is the cause and your life is the effect. You remember that your word is your wand. You remember that you are the architect, holding the plans for everything you will ever experience. The power to change your life does not lie in changing your job, your partner, or your address. It lies in changing the blueprint within your own consciousness. It has always been there, waiting for you to pick up the pen. So I invite you now to make a declaration, to speak a new law into being. Right here, right now. Leave a comment below and declare for yourself and for the world to see. I am the writer of my own law. Feel the truth of that statement settle into your soul. The board is set. The pieces are yours to move. The question is no longer if you will play, but how?
The universe is a great, unseen bank of infinite supply. It moves not by chance, but by law, an immutable, invisible law that bends and shapes itself according to the words we speak and the thoughts we hold fast in the silence of our hearts. Every man and woman walks daily in a world woven of their own affirmations, for the spoken word is a magic wand that commands substance to form. Money, wealth, and prosperity are never truly outside of us, but rather waiting patiently for the signal, the declaration, the word that calls them forth. You see, words are seeds. When spoken with conviction, they drop into the fertile soil of the unseen, and the universe, which never argues, which never resists, begins to rearrange itself to bring forth the harvest. The law is impersonal. It does not ask whether your word is careless or deliberate. It only knows to obey. This is why so many live in lack, while others live in abundance. The difference lies not in favor or fortune, but in the silent decree made by the tongue and the mind behind it. Money is spirit in visible form. It is energy, and energy responds instantly to the command of consciousness. The universe listens with perfect clarity, and what is spoken 3 times in power becomes etched upon the ether. Many imagine they must labor, struggle, or plead for prosperity. Yet the truth is more radiant and more simple. To the one who understands the law, money comes as a faithful servant, summoned by words of certainty. There are 3 words that open the vault of heaven, 3 words that turn the key in the invisible lock of supply. These words are not complicated, nor are they reserved for a chosen few. They are a universal code, accessible to every soul who dares to speak them in faith. When spoken, they carry with them a vibration so clear, so commanding, that money rushes forth, as though it had been waiting just outside your door all along. Think of it a life where money comes with ease, where the bills are paid before they are due, where opportunities present themselves without strain, where the river of supply flows so steadily that worry becomes a forgotten shadow. This is not a dream, nor a far-off possibility, but a present reality waiting for your word. For the word is power, the word is law, and the law is obedience. The universe cannot withhold. It does not know how to delay. When the correct word is spoken, it hastens to perform, moving people's circumstances, and even the winds of chance into perfect alignment. The 3 words for money are like a master key. They unlock doors you did not even know existed. Words are seeds that command substance, and every word that falls from the lips of man is a decree to the invisible. The spoken word is never idle. It carries within it the power of creation, the pattern of the unseen, and the essence of the harvest to come. The world that surrounds you at this very moment is nothing more than a garden of words spoken long ago, some sound in faith, some sound in fear, yet all brought to life with the same obedience of the universal law. Each phrase, each thought turned into sound, is a living seed cast into the soil of the ether, and the ether, being infinitely fertile, brings forth without hesitation. This is why words must be guarded as treasures, for what you speak today becomes the fabric of tomorrow. And the universe is forever listening. Consider for a moment the way a seed works in the natural. When a gardener places a tiny seed into the earth, he does not see the tree or the flower immediately, yet he knows with certainty that the seed has begun its work. He does not dig it up in doubt, nor does he question the soil. He trusts the process because the law of growth is immutable. So it is with words. When you speak them with intention, they are dropped into the fertile unseen realm, and though no evidence may appear at first, the substance of life is already shifting, already aligning itself to bring forth the harvest of your decree. The careless gardener who plants weeds reaps weeds, and the careful gardener who plants flowers reaps flowers. In the same way, the careless soul who speaks of lack, debt, or failure plants seeds of poverty, while the wise one who speaks of plenty, opportunity, and increase plants seeds of wealth. The universe does not interpret words as casual chatter. It accepts every utterance as command. To say, "I never have enough," is to send forth a seed of scarcity, and that seed cannot help but sprout. To say, "Money comes easily to me," is to plant a seed of abundance, and the soil of the unseen law must respond. There is no middle ground, for the law cannot deny itself. Many wonder why they live in cycles of want, yet their very speech is a constant proclamation of lack. Their words are complaints, doubts, and fears repeated until the harvest becomes a field of limitation. Yet the moment the tongue changes its decree, the harvest must change as well. For words are the blueprint, and the universe has no choice but to obey. The creative force of words lies not in their sound alone, but in the conviction behind them. Words spoken without belief are like seeds cast on barren ground. But words spoken with faith sink deeply into the soil of the spirit and draw forth substance. When you declare with certainty that wealth is yours, when you affirm without wavering that supply flows freely to you, you ignite the power of the seed. You have in that moment commanded substance, and substance will hasten to form. Faith is the sunlight, conviction is the rain, and together they nourish the word until it manifests as visible reality. This is why words of gratitude carry such power. For gratitude is the conviction that the harvest already exists, and the universe delights in bringing more to one who speaks, as though already full. Every great teacher of truth has pointed to the power of the word. The ancients knew that speech was the wand of creation, and that by uttering sound charged with belief, one could call forth realities unseen. Even in daily life, one can observe how words shape the environment. Speak encouragement to a child and watch confidence bloom. Speak criticism and watch doubt take root. The same principle governs money and prosperity. Speak of it as a faithful friend, and it draws near. Speak of it as an elusive stranger, and it keeps its distance. Words magnetize, they are not mere air. They are currents of energy carrying instructions to the universe. When spoken often, they engrave themselves upon the subconscious mind, which in turn impresses the law, and the law manifests. This is why repetition matters. Just as a farmer does not plant one seed and expect a field, the wise soul does not speak abundance once and stop. He repeats it, waters it, affirms it until the soil is rich with planted intention. Each word is a new seed, and the more seeds of wealth and supply you scatter, the greater your harvest will be. But repetition must be deliberate, not mechanical. To speak words without belief is to toss seeds upon stone, yet to speak with emotion, with feeling, with a vision of the wealth already present, is to plant them deeply in fertile ground. The subconscious mind is the soil, and it accepts every word spoken and feeling as truth. It does not argue, it does not resist, it only obeys. This is why one must speak wisely. For careless words spoken in anger or fear can be as potent as words spoken in faith. When you understand that words are seeds that command substance, you become the master of your garden. No longer do you permit idle chatter of poverty to pass your lips. No longer do you allow words of failure to plant themselves in your field. You choose instead to speak of money as a friend who never fails, of opportunities as doors that swing wide, of abundance as the natural order of your life. Each time you speak in this way, you are sowing seeds of prosperity, and each seed must bring forth after its kind. The law is unerring. Just as surely as the apple seed brings forth the apple tree, words of wealth must bring forth wealth, and words of lack must bring forth lack. The soil does not discriminate, it only grows what is planted. Words are not only commands to the universe, they are also commands to the self. Each word spoken imprints itself upon the mind, shaping belief, and belief is the magnet of manifestation. To say, "I am rich in every way," is not only a message to the universe, but a message to your own subconscious that it must align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with richness. In this way, the seed not only summons substance from the outside, but reshapes the inner self to receive it. Many fail to hold wealth, because within they carry words of unworthiness, yet the moment they change their speech, they change their belief, and the universe responds accordingly. The universe obeys without question or delay, for it is a perfect mirror of thought and word. A boundless servant of the decree you make with your lips and the conviction you carry in your heart. There is no bargaining in this law, no hesitation, no committee of judgment that decides who shall be granted prosperity and who shall be denied. The law is exact, precise, and impartial. It answers as faithfully to the whisper of doubt as it does to the shout of faith. To say that the universe obeys without question is to understand that there is no filter of morality, no preference of circumstance, no waiting for worthiness. It does not pause to ask whether you are deserving. It only reflects back to you the pattern of what you have spoken, believed, and impressed upon it. This is why many are astonished to find their fears manifest as quickly as their desires. They do not understand that worry is a prayer in reverse, a constant repetition of negative affirmations that the universe must obey. To say, "I fear losing money," is as much a command as saying, "I welcome great wealth." The difference is in the direction of the energy, not the obedience of the law. The universe delays nothing, for delay would be resistance, and resistance does not exist in the law of creation. Once the decree has been spoken with feeling, the law moves instantly, invisibly rearranging circumstances, drawing people, and shifting opportunities to bring forth the reflection of the seed planted. Imagine a great ocean that reflects the slightest ripple. You cannot drop a stone into still water and demand that the ripple wait until you are ready. The ripple is instant, inevitable, and exact. So it is with the universe. The moment the word is spoken, the ripple begins, whether it be a ripple of abundance or of lack. Some will say, "But I have spoken prosperity and not yet seen it." Yet this is because they watch the water impatiently, doubting the ripple, digging up the seed. They do not realize the law is already at work, that unseen threads are weaving together the fabric of their decree. Impatience interrupts the process, not because the law resists, but because the doubter speaks new words of delay, and the universe obeys those just as faithfully. The obedience of the universe is perfect, and this perfection is both a great blessing and a solemn responsibility. It means that no word is wasted, no decree unheard, no seed barren. It means you are always creating, even when you believe yourself idle. The conversation overheard in complaint, the muttered fear about money, the sigh of, "I never have enough." All of these are taken as orders, for the universe never questions your intent. It is as though you stand before a loyal servant who awaits your every word. Speak clearly and deliberately, and the servant executes your command. Speak carelessly and thoughtlessly, and the servant executes that as well. The servant does not ask if you truly meant it. It only knows to obey. This obedience is not bound by time. The universe does not say, "Tomorrow I will obey." It does not push your decree into some distant corner of existence. The shift begins at once, though your human eyes may not yet see it. The unseen is already rearranged, the invisible already in motion. Delay is only the appearance of the visible world catching up with the invisible command. If you decree wealth, wealth is already yours in the unseen, and the law moves to translate it into matter. If you decree lack, lack is already yours in the unseen, and the law rushes to manifest it in form. The immediacy of the obedience is the evidence of its faithfulness. For the universe is incapable of ignoring a decree, once given. Those who understand this truth guard their words as treasures, for they know that every syllable carries weight. They do not idly speak of sickness, debt, or failure, for they know that such words set forces in motion as real as the sunrise. Instead, they speak only of health, wealth, and success, not because they are blind to present appearances, but because they know appearances are only the residue of past decrees. They choose to plant anew, to speak anew, to command anew, and by doing so they rewrite the fabric of their tomorrow. They live not as victims of circumstance, but as commanders of law, for they know that the law never argues, never delays, never questions. It only obeys. To test this truth, one has only to watch their own life carefully. Speak often of blessings, and soon blessings multiply. Speak often of troubles, and soon troubles appear in greater number. Speak as though money flows, and the flow begins. Speak as though money is always absent, and absence becomes the norm. This is not chance but certainty, for the law cannot break itself. The universe does not choose one decree over another, it gives each back in the same form it was spoken. If the words are charged with emotion, the obedience is even swifter, for feeling magnifies command. A casual word may plant a weak seed, but a word spoken with passion and repetition is a mighty decree, and the universe hastens to obey it with equal passion. The obedience of the universe is also impartial. It does not favor the rich over the poor, the educated over the unlearned, the strong over the weak. It favors only the word. Any soul who understands this law may rise from want to wealth, from obscurity to influence, simply by commanding with deliberate speech. History is filled with those who held little, but spoke as though they held much, and soon much was given. Likewise, many who possessed abundance fell into ruin, because their words were those of fear, doubt, and loss. The law has no bias, it reflects only the decree. Because the obedience is so absolute, there is no need for struggle. Many believe they must strive and fight for prosperity, but this is because they do not trust the immediacy of the law. They plant a seed, and then attempt to force its growth with anxious toil, forgetting that the law requires only the seed and the faith that it must grow. Struggle often plants new seeds of hardship, for the words spoken in struggle are words of lack. I must work harder, I must strive, I must push. These words are themselves commands, and the universe obeys, providing more struggle, more striving, more pushing. Yet the one who speaks calmly, "My wealth flows with ease, my money comes freely," plants seeds of effortless supply, and the universe, which never questions, sets the channels of ease into motion. Every soul has within it the choice of decree. Each day, each moment, you stand before the obedient universe with the power to command. You may speak life or death, wealth or poverty, abundance or lack, and the law will obey you without hesitation. It does not delay, it does not pause, it does not ask. It mirrors, it reflects, it fulfills. To realize this is to awaken to the astonishing power of speech, to see that you are never waiting on the universe. It is always waiting on you. Money is energy responding to spoken word, and like all energy, it moves according to the vibration to which it is tuned. It is not solid or fixed as many believe, it is a living current, a river of substance that flows in answer to the signals you send forth with your voice, your affirmations, and your declarations. The universe is not holding money in vaults beyond your reach. It is not withholding from one and granting to another out of whim or favoritism. It is simply responding to the frequency of your speech. For every word carries a tone, a resonance, and that resonance attracts its like. When you say, "I am prosperous," the energy of money aligns with you, for prosperity and money are of the same vibration. When you say, "I cannot afford this," the energy of lack aligns with you, for lack is its own vibration as well. Money is not moral or immoral, kind or unkind. It is obedient energy that mirrors the words you cast into the field of life. Energy is never stagnant. It must move, flow, circulate. Money, being energy, seeks circulation, and the spoken word acts as the guide, the channel through which it flows. When you speak words of abundance, you create open channels, doors, and pathways through which money can enter and circulate in your life. When you speak words of limitation, you close those channels, you shut the doors, you dam the river, and the flow diverts elsewhere. Many wonder why money seems to flow to others with ease while bypassing them. Yet if they examined their speech, they would see words of doubt, fear, and complaint repeated daily. The universe does not make mistakes in distribution, it only follows the paths carved by your spoken decrees. Words of faith create wide highways for money to travel. Words of lack create dead ends where the flow cannot continue. Money as energy is highly sensitive to command, and the spoken word is the clearest command of all. Thought carries power, but when thought is spoken, it crystallizes into vibration that cannot be ignored. The air carries it, the ether records it, and the universe responds. This is why affirmations spoken aloud carry such creative force. To think, "I am wealthy," is to plant a seed in silence, but to speak, "I am wealthy," aloud is to cast that seed into the air, to give it sound and vibration that ripple outward into the field of energy. The vibration of the word joins the vibration of money itself, and like a magnet, the two attract one another. Energy seeks resonance, and the spoken word provides that resonance. Money responds to spoken word, because spoken word reveals belief. When one says, "I never have enough," even in jest, the vibration of lack is clear, and money cannot flow toward it, for the vibration repels abundance. When one says, "Money comes easily and freely to me," the vibration of openness is clear, and money hastens to respond, for the energy of abundance is drawn to openness. The response may not always appear in the exact form expected: a check in the mail, a gift, an opportunity, an idea. But it will always come, for the law of energy must answer the command. Words charged with faith and repeated often become the standing vibration of your life, and money, as energy, gravitates to the vibration that matches it. Consider a tuning fork struck in a quiet room. Any object vibrating at the same frequency will begin to resonate, even without being touched. Spoken words are like tuning forks. When you speak of wealth, you strike the frequency of abundance, and money begins to resonate with that call. When you speak of debt, you strike the frequency of lack, and more debt begins to resonate and appear. The universe is a vast chamber of resonance, and your words are the strikes that call forth its echo. Money is simply one of the many echoes, but because it is tied to survival and comfort, its response feels immediate and profound. Those who constantly declare lack unknowingly strike the tuning fork of limitation again and again, and they are puzzled when the room vibrates only with scarcity. Yet the remedy is simple: strike a new tone, speak new words, and the resonance must change. The energy of money is neutral. It does not love one person and hate another. It is not attracted to toil or repelled by ease. It does not respond to pleading or begging, for begging carries the vibration of lack. It does not respond to resentment, for resentment carries the vibration of resistance. It responds to clarity, certainty, gratitude, and affirmation, for these carry the vibration of flow. When you say with conviction, "I am aligned with wealth," the energy of money hears a clear signal and moves toward it. When you say with doubt, "I hope I will have enough," the energy of money hears an unclear signal and cannot respond with certainty. Energy requires direction, and the spoken word provides it without ambiguity. Money also responds to spoken word, because words shape the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the great attractor of energy. The subconscious does not argue with your speech. If you say often enough, "I can never save money," it accepts that as truth and directs energy to fulfill it. If you say often enough, "I am a magnet for wealth," it accepts that as truth and directs energy to fulfill it. Money follows the subconscious command, and the subconscious is commanded by repeated speech. This is why affirmations are so powerful, not because the words themselves hold magic, but because the repetition of them reshapes the subconscious belief, and belief alters the flow of energy. Money is energy responding to belief expressed in word. Energy seeks order. Chaos in speech creates chaos in results. To speak abundance one day and lack the next is to send mixed signals, and the energy of money does not know which command to follow. The result is erratic flow, sudden gains followed by sudden losses, opportunities appearing and then vanishing. But to speak consistently, daily, unshakably of wealth and ease is to provide a stable vibration, and energy aligns with stability. Just as a compass needle settles when undisturbed, money settles into the lives of those who speak with unwavering clarity. Inconsistency breeds uncertainty, and energy cannot obey uncertainty with precision. Consistency breeds certainty, and energy flows to certainty as naturally as water flows downhill, because money is energy responding to spoken word. There is no limit to how much can flow. Energy is infinite, and the universe holds no shortage. Limitation exists only in speech, in the declarations of scarcity repeated by lips that do not realize their power. Those who say, "There is never enough to go around," are commanding limitation, and limitation becomes their portion. Those who say, "There is always more than enough for me," are commanding abundance, and abundance becomes their portion. The universe does not measure the decree and ration energy. It does not say, "This one asked too much, I must withhold." It simply obeys, for energy has no concept of too much or too little. It flows where it is directed, and the word is the director. 3 words act as the master key to supply. For the universe, though infinite, awaits a signal, a phrase, a command that opens its invisible storehouse. Words are keys, and just as a key of the wrong shape will not turn the lock, so too do careless words fail to open the doors of abundance. Yet when the right words are spoken with clarity and conviction, the lock yields instantly, the door swings wide, and the flood of provision pours forth without resistance. These 3 words are not ordinary. They are charged with the vibration of certainty, stamped with the seal of divine law, and they carry within them the command that no force can deny. They are simple to speak, yet their simplicity hides their power, for the mind of man often seeks complication. Forgetting that the universe responds to clarity, when spoken, these words align thought, feeling, and energy into perfect harmony. The scattered desires of the mind are gathered into a single decree, and the law, being exact, rushes to fulfill it. Many speak endlessly of what they want, piling sentence upon sentence, explanation upon explanation, yet their many words scatter energy, diluting their command. The 3 words are precise. They focus power as a magnifying glass focuses light into fire. Energy flows where attention goes, and the 3 words direct attention with laser clarity. The universe does not require long speeches, it requires alignment, and alignment is best expressed in simplicity. The key does not need to be heavy or ornate to open the door, it only needs the right cut. So it is with these 3 words. Think of how a master key works. One key may open many doors, because it is aligned with the central pattern of the lock. These 3 words act the same way. They open the lock of money, but also the lock of health, of opportunity, of relationships, for the law is one, and the vibration that governs one area governs all. Yet when turned toward money, the effect is immediate and unmistakable. They act as a signal to the infinite substance, saying, "Here is the channel, here is the vessel, here is the command." The supply that seemed hidden, delayed, or withheld rushes into visibility, because the lock is no longer closed. What appeared as limitation was never a lack of supply, but a lack of the right key. The storehouse has always been full, waiting for the decree that opens it. The three words hold power not because of their letters, but because of the belief they awaken in the speaker. They bypass doubt and strike directly at the subconscious mind, and once the subconscious accepts them, the law cannot refuse. They plant themselves like seeds deep in the soil of the spirit, and from them grows a tree of manifestation. Each repetition waters the seed, strengthens the root, and builds the trunk until the fruit of visible money appears in the outer world. Other words may fall upon the surface and be swept away by winds of disbelief, but the three words sink deep, rooting themselves where no wind can touch them. They hold within them a vibration so pure, so certain, that the universe must answer without delay. The master key does not beg. It does not plead. It does not hope. It commands. These three words carry the energy of command, not of request. The universe is not a reluctant giver that must be persuaded. It is a faithful servant that must be instructed. When you speak these words with authority, the law recognizes them as final, as irrevocable, as absolute. To speak them with hesitation is to hold the key loosely in the lock, never turning it fully. But to speak them with certainty is to turn the key, hear the click, and feel the door swing open. Money flows because the decree has been made, and the law must obey. The words themselves are not new. They have echoed through time, spoken by those who understood the hidden laws of prosperity. Ancient teachers uttered them, mystics whispered them, and those who lived in wealth without toil carried them upon their tongues. They are not bound by culture or language, for their essence transcends translation. What matters is the vibration, the faith, the certainty with which they are spoken. They are the distillation of truth into sound, the essence of law made audible. To the unknowing they may seem too simple, too small, too ordinary to hold such power, yet that is the disguise of truth. The greatest keys are never elaborate, they are simple, direct, and absolute. When the three words are spoken, doors that seemed locked for years open suddenly. Debts dissolve, opportunities appear, ideas flow, gifts arrive, channels expand. It is not that the words create something from nothing, it is that the words align you with what already exists. Supply has always been present, surrounding you in infinite measure, but without the key, it remains unseen, untouched, unused. The words remove the veil. They shift the lens through which you perceive, and as perception changes, reality must change to match it. The energy of money, always abundant, always flowing, recognizes the vibration of the three words and rushes to meet it. To speak the three words once is to strike the key in the lock. To speak them daily, hourly, is to live with the door open, to keep the channels wide and clear. Repetition is not for the universe, it does not need reminding. But for the speaker, for the subconscious, for the mind that must be trained to live in certainty. Each repetition deepens the groove of belief, and belief is the true magnet of supply. Doubt is a second key that locks the door again, but faith is the hand that holds the master key steady. Speak the words until doubt falls silent, until the subconscious sings them as truth, until every cell of your being vibrates with their certainty. Then money flows as naturally as breath, as faithfully as the rising of the sun. The master key works because the universe is lawful, not because it is partial. It responds to vibration, and the three words are the vibration of abundance in its purest form. Just as a tuning fork will cause another of the same pitch to vibrate, so too do these words strike the pitch of wealth, and money, being energy, resonates with the call. You do not need to chase money when you hold the key. You only need to speak and let the law obey. The chase is the path of those who do not know the key, who rattle at locked doors with frustration. But the one who knows speaks with calm certainty, turns the key, and walks through as though the door were never locked at all. Faithful speech creates faithful wealth. For the universe does not respond to fleeting words spoken in passing, but to steady decrees repeated with conviction. A word spoken once with doubt is like a seed tossed upon stony ground, easily lost to wind or trampled underfoot. But a word spoken again and again, with belief and certainty, roots itself deeply in the soil of the subconscious and grows into a tree that cannot be shaken. Wealth is not built on chance, nor on sudden bursts of effort, but on the steady rhythm of faithful speech. Each affirmation, each declaration, is a stone laid upon another until the structure of abundance stands complete. The law does not reward hesitation, but it rushes to reward consistency. For consistency is proof of belief, and belief is the command to which the universe must respond. Faithful speech is not idle chatter. It is the language of authority. To speak faithfully is to speak as though the decree were already fulfilled. To utter words not from a place of need, but from a place of knowing. The one who says, "I am wealthy," while looking at lack speaks not in denial of what is seen, but in allegiance to what is unseen. For the unseen is the cause and the seen is only the effect. To remain faithful to that word, even when appearances contradict it, is to prove mastery. For appearances are shifting shadows, while the law that responds to speech is eternal and unchanging. Faithful wealth is born of such steadfastness, of refusing to allow outer circumstances to dictate inner speech. It is the tongue held firm in its declaration, the mind unwavering in its proclamation, the spirit unswerving in its certainty. The power of faithful speech lies in its ability to reprogram the inner self. The subconscious is the great builder of experience, and it is molded not by stray thoughts, but by repeated words. Each faithful declaration carves a new pattern within, and the universe, reflecting that pattern, brings it into form. To say once, "I am rich," may stir the waters of possibility, but to say daily, hourly, unshakably, "I am rich," engraves wealth into the very fabric of being. The subconscious, once convinced, does not argue, does not resist, does not forget. It becomes a magnet drawing opportunities, people, and channels that align with the spoken decree. Faithful speech is the language by which the subconscious is taught. And once the lesson is learned, wealth must follow. Wealth that arises from faithful speech is faithful wealth, because it is rooted in law, not in chance. Money gained by accident can vanish as quickly as it came, for it was never anchored in certainty. But money drawn by faithful speech is anchored in the vibration of the speaker, woven into the fabric of their consciousness, and cannot be lost. Even if one channel closes, another opens, for the wealth does not depend on a single source, but on the state of being created by faithful speech. Just as a tree rooted deeply in the earth does not wither when one branch is cut, so faithful wealth does not diminish when one stream dries. For the roots remain strong, and the law must always provide another. Faithful speech requires discipline, for the tongue is often quick to wander. Doubt whispers, fear presses, appearances distract, and many speak according to what they see instead of what they decree. Yet discipline trains the tongue to remain steady, to speak abundance even in the face of bills, to speak supply even in the face of lack, to speak wealth even in the presence of delay. Each time doubt rises and the faithful word is spoken instead, the will is strengthened, the belief deepened, the vibration clarified. Discipline turns faithful speech from effort into habit, until the words of wealth flow as naturally as breath. In that moment, the law is not only obeying the word, but resonating with a state of being that cannot be shaken. Faithful speech also creates alignment with gratitude, and gratitude multiplies wealth. To say, "I am thankful for the money that flows to me," is to acknowledge abundance before it appears, and such acknowledgement is itself a magnet for more. Gratitude spoken faithfully is not mere politeness, but a declaration of trust, a signal to the universe that the supply is certain and already received. The more it is spoken, the more it becomes a natural vibration, and the more money flows in response. Gratitude is the perfume of faithful speech. It sweetens the word, enriches the decree, and hastens the harvest. A declaration of wealth coupled with gratitude is like seed planted in rich soil watered by rain. It must sprout, it must grow, it must bear fruit. Faithful speech creates faithful wealth, because it speaks not only to the universe, but also to others. When one speaks consistently of abundance, the world around them begins to see them as abundant. Opportunities are offered, doors are opened, invitations are extended, for people respond unconsciously to the vibration of words. To constantly speak of lack is to repel generosity, but to speak faithfully of wealth is to draw generosity, trust, and favor. The energy of speech influences not only the unseen but the seen, not only the spiritual but the material, not only the law of the universe but the hearts and minds of men. Wealth flows more easily to one who is perceived as wealthy, and faithful speech creates that perception, which in turn attracts the very substance it proclaims. The rhythm of faithful speech creates momentum. At first, the words may feel like effort, like climbing a hill, but with each repetition, the vibration grows stronger, the belief deeper, the alignment clearer. Eventually, the momentum carries itself, and the words no longer need force but flow naturally. At that point, the universe is no longer being called from afar, but is already present, already aligned, already delivering supply. The faithful word, spoken long enough, becomes the default thought, the automatic declaration, and the wealth that follows becomes equally automatic. Just as water flows downhill without effort once the channel is cut, so wealth flows without effort once the channel of faithful speech is carved deeply into the mind and spirit. Faithful wealth born of faithful speech is not only material but spiritual. It brings peace, for the speaker no longer fears loss, knowing the source is eternal. It brings confidence, for the speaker no longer doubts their worthiness, knowing the law cannot deny a faithful word. It brings generosity, for the speaker no longer clings in fear, knowing the supply is infinite. Wealth becomes more than numbers in an account. It becomes a state of being, a steady assurance, a living proof of the power of the spoken word. Faithful speech creates faithful wealth because it builds wealth that is steady, enduring, and expansive, wealth that grows with the speaker, wealth that serves not only the self but others as well.